what God is doing in giving Israel over to a season of hardness is showing the world in the most graphic, painful, costly, crystal clear way, ethnicity saves nobody. He's teaching a lesson both to Jews and to Gentiles. Don't boast in your distinctives, your circumcision, your worship, your tradition. Boast in your Messiah. He's the only reason any of you will ever be saved. And that becomes crystal clear when the whole chosen nation is abandoned for a season. In other words, there's a lesson to be taught for the world. Don't work your way to heaven with human distinctives. Trust grace. That's the message. Why God thought it helpful to do it that way? I will not try to write history for God. All I know is I'm going to learn this lesson because it's there to teach me. God forbid that I should ever presume that I'm an American or I'm a Baptist or I'm a male or I'm white or anything like that would have the least power to commend me to God. Nothing. Because He's shown that He took the apple of His eye, and because they were starting to presume upon their tradition and their Jewishness, He said, I'll show you how valuable that is in getting to heaven. And the whole generation is kept from God. That Gentiles would learn, we better not ever depend on anything in ourselves like that. So the whole point of chapter 11 is for Gentiles and Jews to learn that salvation is by grace alone, through faith alone, apart from ethnic distinctives and work distinctives and tradition distinctives. All of this is designed to demonstrate a couple of things. One, God can and will save all Israel without being bound to save any Jew because he's Jewish. If you wanted to save all Israel, which God does, and not run the risk that in saving them it would seem like Jewishness is what got them saved, how would you do it? God does it by letting a hardening come upon a people for a long time to show that will never get you there. And then after He has brought in all these ragtag, uncircumcised, Johnny-come-lately, ham-eating Gentiles who deserve nothing but damnation, He will one day send the Holy Spirit in the most powerful way, lift the veil, take off the hardening, and instead of saying, we're the Jews, that they will never say that again. They will say, look at our Messiah. And by grace alone, through faith alone, He will bring them in. And let us say this. It's coming. I'm going to preach sermons on this, but I'll go ahead and get it anyway. God can and will save a whole fullness of Gentiles who do not boast over the broken off branches. If you wanted to save millions upon millions of red and yellow, black and white from every culture, having abandoned Jews for a season, you would need to take some very special precautions that those Gentiles did not say. They were broken off so that we might be grafted in. Which is exactly what this text says they were saying. And Paul responds, they were, because of their unbelief. And you stand for one reason: faith. So don't boast over the branches, but fear, because if they were broken off, you can be broken off. Do you see where we end up? Nobody can boast anymore. It's all grace. The mouth of the Gentile is shut. The mouth of the Jew is shut. One thing will save me: sheer sovereign grace, embraced through faith, owing to nothing in me and everything in Him. Grace, grace, grace.